So at this point in the year, people are graduating. They have figured out what they want to do in their life, and so have you. You have moved on. You have gone on to greener pastures. You figured out, hey, I have gone to school. I have done what I wanted to do, and now I am ready to move on and figure out how to build my career, to become whatever. But then something happened. You're watching all these people graduate, and you're saying, hey, I have unfinished business. You kind of have the itch, right? You think, oh, I could have been a lawyer or a doctor or whatever you're going to be. And in fact, I was where you are now. I decided after graduating law school, passing the bar exam and becoming an attorney, that there were things I wanted to do still. I actually wanted to go to medical school, and to do that, I had to go back to college. And that was hard. See, for all of you that are deciding to go back, there have been thousands of people that have done the same thing you're considering, and thousands of people that will come after you. But it's not just an admission of defeat. It feels like that you are actually saying, I made the wrong decisions. That is not true. That's right. It is your old washed up self that is going to come back to the hallowed halls of academia and conquer it, because you actually have a tremendous amount to offer and you don't realize it yet. The problem is that you used to be cool and you're not now. But don't worry, you may be not the only person cashing in your, I don't know, your cubicle for the classroom, or your business casual for a backpack, or I don't know, like a 401k for a student ID 1k. You are not alone, and I can guarantee it. Now, let me tell you, going back to school in your late 20s or early 30s, or even older, is wild. It's like being a time traveler, but instead of going to the future, you're going back in time, and everyone is younger, but you're still old. When I first went back, I was actually the only one in a suit and tie. I'd come from work, so I was well dressed and I was well prepared, and the professor came up to me and told me, surprisingly, that somehow my tie was breaking school code, and I was wearing a patterned tie, and I felt horrified. I tried to fit in. I really, really did. The next day I thought about being trendy, and I wore skinny jeans and a cardigan, and but no, apparently the cool kids were all wearing things like mom jeans and dad sneakers, and I didn't get compliments on my clothes until I started raiding my 70-year-old father's wardrobe. But there are good parts, and actually, you know what the best part is? At some point, you will say something hilarious, and you won't know why, and you'll figure this out eventually. Legitimately, you'll be in a group project, and you'll start saying something. You'll hear what they're saying, but you'll say it kind of wrong. You'll be like, bet, let's yeet this presentation, and it's gonna be lit, my guy. And then everyone will look at you and think that you're hilarious when you've made up this amazing kind of new slang, and really you're just trying to communicate with them, and you've done it wrong. I successfully convinced my class that Gucci gang was an acceptable, agreeable verb that allowed you to emphasize how wonderful something is going to be. Oh yeah, this project is going to be Gucci gang, and it became Gucci gang because I willed it into existence. I've never felt so powerful. Now, despite all of the cultural differences, I have learned a few tricks to survive and may as well thrive in an environment where you are considered a seasoned student. My first suggestion is that you need to embrace your inner uncle or aunts, your inner cool uncle or aunt vibe. You may not understand all of the references, and they may or may not understand you, but you can still be funny, you can still be wise, you can be the slightly eccentric older student who always has gum and great advice. Second, don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's navigating the campus or finding out what online course system you're using, or just venting about how much you miss the flip phones and your fellow students from the old days and all the things you used to do. People might not really understand the world we lived in, but at least it's entertaining to them to think about the old age. I had loads of times where I didn't know where a building was, or I didn't know how to use Blackboard, and I would complain about how easy things used to be, but it actually turned out to be a great bonding experience for me and my fellow students, where they were able to offer me things that they cared about, and showed me things that was cool, and they'd show me what they liked and the cool places to study. It is actually a lot of fun. Third is, remember why you're here. You're not trying to relive your early 20s or compete with the younger students. You're here to learn, you're here to grow, you're here to pursue your dreams. And that's something to be proud of, no matter who you are and how many yeets or lits you have to endure along the way. But you'll be an inspiration to everyone around you that should feel demotivated in this environment. You shouldn't be intimidated to interact with kids who are still on their parents' health insurance. You are going to be the one who shows them who they're going to be in the future, and that's going to be inspiring to them. But aside from the social dynamics, there's kind of another side to surviving college as a seasoned, aged student. Topic 2 is more about surviving the academic pressures, and this is more like the nitty-gritty side of being a seasoned student, where first up you're going to have a technological issue. When I was in college, the first time around, the most advanced things we had was probably like graphing calculators and a barely functioning laptop. Now everyone has got a $2,000 laptop, tablets, and a smartphone that could do my taxes for me. And especially when you're talking about the evolution of artificial intelligence, AI, there's so many tools now more than ever that they are going to know how to succeed with this new environment more than you will. And they're going to be your academic competition still, and they're going to be running or typing circles around you in this. And it's okay, because these things will take time, but you don't have to compete on everything. For example, actually, don't get me started on social media. I thought I was pretty savvy with my Facebook account, and this is an area of technology you do not have to compete on, because I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, and then suddenly TikTok became a huge thing, and now you have whatever the other thing that Instagram has started doing. And I feel like I need to have a degree just to keep up with what the platforms are and how to use them. And they take a huge amount of your daily time and a huge amount of the undergraduates' daily time. Your fellow classmates will feel the pressure to have a perfect online presence, and that is a real pressure. I once spent 30 minutes trying to take a candid study selfie in the library to show everyone I was back in the study world, and it turns out there is nothing candid about 50 photos of me pretending to read. But it's okay. You probably won't be popular on social media at this point in your life, and that's probably a pretty good thing for you, actually. There are things about being an older student that will be barred from you. You won't be able to participate the same way, but that means you won't be distracted in the way that they will. And all of those things, although disappointing, will be a huge advantage to you. You see, we have something that they don't, which is perspective. When a younger student is stressing out about a B on a paper, we know that in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. We have faced real challenges in our careers and personal lives. We know how to handle a tough professor or a group project that has completely malfunctioned, or while young students are going to be freaking out about a girl not messaging them back on Instagram, we've already been rejected so many times in our life, we can give advice and help them recover, and we've already got our work done by the time that happens. Plus, we have some serious time management skills. When you're juggling school, when you're juggling work, and maybe even a family, you learn how to prioritize like a champion. I once had court in the morning, a test during the lunch period, and then I had to come back after lunch was the exam was over, and then I had to go back to court. And you'd think that would be too much to handle, but the truth is it made me better. And I was able to really get the most out of my day, and you'll unlock efficiency in ways that you never knew you even could. But perhaps the biggest advantage you have, and I don't know how in the world I got from this, I was supposed to be talking about, what was it? Academic problems. The biggest advantage you have is your motivation. We are not here because our parents told us to go to college. We're not here because it's just the next big step after high school. We are here because we want to be. We are here because we have a goal, we have a dream, we have a passion, and we are pursuing that passion. And that kind of drive is powerful. So maybe my point is that the academic pressures aren't actually real academic pressures. You have performed under pressure, you have done work, you have raised a family. This is just something that is more structured. And it may seem intimidating or difficult at first, but after the first few exams, you will be more than on your feet and able to handle it, probably better and faster adapting than most people realize. And to all my fellow non-traditionals, as we're called, I want to say this, that you are not alone. We may be scattered around lots of different campuses, majors, or points in life, and We are all trying to learn, grow, and pursue better versions of ourselves, but we are also proving that it is never too late to follow your dreams or to pursue your dreams. Before you go, I want to give you 10 tips or 10 things that I think are useful that will make your back to school experience as good as possible. Number one, I'm thinking is as I go, embrace the cool uncle or cool aunt vibe. You may not be hip, but you can be the one who teaches someone how to iron a shirt or apply for their first part-time job. Number two is make friends with the IT department. They will be your lifeline when you inevitably forget your password or can't figure out how to submit an assignment online, or worse, submit it late. Something I wish I would have done, number three, something I wish I would have done. I don't even know if it was possible at my school, but I think it's more possible now than it ever was, is start like a non-traditional club. There are others out there like you, like us, and I made the mistake of thinking I was alone, and it turns out I was, but you might not be. Number four is become the master of the group project. Your years of experience in the workforce have prepared you for this moment. Lead those youngsters to an A, and also, do you really want to take orders from a 19-year-old? Maybe not. Number five is embrace the free stuff. College campuses are a gold mine of free t-shirts, food, pizza, pins. Collect them all, have no shame. Number six is bond with your professors in class. I had a professor, a few times actually, I had a professor ask for my specific real-world thoughts on a situation where like something legal came up, or something about an electric car. I have an electric car, it came up, and they referred to me and said, well, you know, he knows more about that than I do, and just because they're teaching you on a specific subject doesn't mean you know nothing about life, and creating that bond will create more respect and might make you even more useful. Number eight, which is my favorite, stand up for yourself and your fellow students when things go wrong. I saw a lot of poor administrative issues for students just doing what they're told or not being given the best treatment from the school, and it happens everywhere, even at the best schools. But you are older, you are more confident, and you can help students understand that they aren't being treated fairly in an environment that doesn't always have their best interest in mind. Number nine is, actually, this one's probably my favorite, never sacrifice sleep. I don't have to go that much into depth on this. You probably understand how important sleep is, but people are quick to throw, that is the first thing to get rid of, and you can't afford to get behind on sleep. And if you're like me, people won't want to deal with a grumpy, sleep-deprived you anyways. Number 10 is remember you're never too old to learn or to grow or to have fun. Embrace the journey, laugh at the challenges, and enjoy this unique chapter in your life. I think it will be something that you will talk about fondly for a while. And that is really it, your survival guide to being a seasoned student, how to go back to school as an old person. Now go forth, conquer the campus, and show the youngins that we still know how to do it. Subscribe. Tell me why you decided to go back to school. Just don't ask me any questions about things like meal plans. I'm still trying to figure that one out way past its due. I just usually stole food from other people. But thank you for watching. See y'all later.